And we have another big heat coming your way in round 2. Josh Kerr will be out there in the red up against Dusty Payne, who has the call-up as an injury replacement. Just looking back on Dusty's CT career, though, amazing to learn that he has only cracked the quarterfinals of one CT event. That was up on the Gold Coast. We'll see what he can bring to the table against Josh Kerr, who is up at the moment. Kersey looks like he's opted for a pretty significant step up here. He just throws a little bit of spice on the inside there, missing that end section. Plenty of time on the clock.
So Josh, I mean, perfect example right there. He scratched to get into that thing because he knew it was going to be a solid payoff on the inside. Look how smooth it is right there. Love that rebound off that cutback and a smooth carve. I like Josh when he's on a longer board. It kind of draws his lines out. Just missed this last section though. That's why he went for the little body language under the lip. But should be an okay start for him.
Had a .67 throwaway number earlier on. This is Dusty Payne's second effort. He's going to drive off the bottom into this first section. Clean carve. That wave did flatten out a little bit for that turn, but a bit steeper here, and Dusty goes to the rail once again. Just dealing with some bumps on the face here and dealing with them pretty well. He's going to get a solid section to line up, but again goes to that high line rail turn. Drew it out, but really needed a bit more of a critical section to play with. Here goes Kerr out the back. Bit of foam on the face to deal with, but have a look at this section. Flat water to deal with. And Josh doing pretty well at the moment. We want to throw down something exciting. Just transitioning at the moment. Looks to unleash on the closeout. Doesn't really put it together.
And you know, you're talking about how...
I think the judges will be taking a look at it, but let's have a look at the start of this wave.
Beautiful bottom turn. Set up a nice carve there through some buckets. Had to draw that carve out there, but I really liked it. He didn't really bog any rails. Another clean roundhouse, but he's waiting for that thing to get steep so that he could tag it. Got just a little hung up on that maneuver there, but fortunate that he had one last section. So there's the changeup, little hit off the whitewash. Again, they haven't dropped any scores yet, but because it's Big Bells Beach, so I think they'll really love it if you do hit the lip, but it's going to be a bonus.
So a 7.17.
Nice to have more waves than too few waves.
All right, we'll carry that momentum through. We'll let you get back to stoking out the Groms.
Thank you, Rosie. As we see Josh Kerr up once again. And Josh with a steep section to work with here. Big floating re-entry, can't stamp the finish, and he goes down just over 13.5 minutes to go. Just how challenging it is to put a ride together out there at the moment.
Let it go, Ronnie. Let it go.
I can't.
It's okay.
I still think that both these competitors could throw down something pretty exciting and fetch an excellent score going into the final stages. Just under 12 minutes to go. Basically had his fins hanging out the back of these waves the entire first round as he takes off prone here. Does well to even stay with this wave. This wall standing up. This thing could line up pretty nicely for the Hawaiian. He drives into that first section. This guy has had plenty of decent opportunities to warm up on long running right-handers. Honolulu Bay back home on Maui has been lighting up lately. And Dusty gets the opportunity again to wind through some nice drawn-out carves as he looks for a solid finish here and banks a pretty good floating re-entry. But again, just gets tangled up trying to ride out of that maneuver. Bell's Bowl, that just tells you how much swell's in the lineup at the moment. We have in the past at this event seen a competitor ride from Bells right past the button down through Winky.
So right in the nick of time. And it's some pros and cons from getting help from the skis. On this wave here, you know, he had to deal with the bump. There was some wakes from the skis, which was a little unlucky for Dusty. But you got to give him a lot of credit. He dealt with it. He just kind of rode through it. And that's what I like about his chances at Bells when it's this big. Dusty's a heavy-footed surfer. He can cut through all that chop. And basically, this entire wave never really cleaned up. He had a lot of those wrinkles to knife through. But he did a good job. He finished it off. Had he gotten this last closing maneuver, it just would have been icing on the cake.
That would have been a huge score.
Would have been bigger than a 7, right? So I still like this to be way better than his 3. So he's going to put some pressure on Josh Kerr now. Now, right here, he just got a little too extended. So he was waiting for that lip to kind of hold the board to his feet. As soon as that lip kind of went away from him, which is classic for Bells, it was over. He was like basically just doing a cannonball.
He just put away a 6.67. We thought that he did enough damage at the start of that wave, despite falling on his final manoeuvre, to get himself a good score. But some big opportunities for some surfers that aren't full-time on the CT as Josh Kerr takes off, chasing a huge number. He's still got time for 2 rides. Pretty unique line through that grab rail carve, getting under the lip. Doing well to surf in the critical part of the wave. So Kersey moving through to the inside. He needs a big finish here. Nice layback snap. Wants a solid finish to get up in the zone that Dusty Payne has posted. Some solid scores from the Hawaiian, a 7.17, a 6.67. Where do you think that ride's going to fall in for Josh Kerr?
But really good wave choice, and we expect that from Josh. So clever. He always finds himself on the right waves. No matter where we are on the planet, he's just clued in. So just a decent maneuver to start with. It got a little better on this third option right here. Little snap. That was cool. Threw some spray. And this wave just kept coming at him. It gave him another nice section to deal with right here on the inside. And just kind of patty caked it home, but it was a nice patty cake. You know what I mean? Like, it was just a floater, but it was clean. And at least he hit it and he made it.
Well, it's going to be comparable to the last wave from Dusty Payne. Numbers coming through now, a 6.67. So the same number as Dusty had. Just 2 minutes remaining now in Heat 4. Josh Kerr is after a 7.17 and taking off now. But Dusty Payne has priority and he's going to utilise it. What is this wave going to do? Dusty's looking to push further ahead. He needs to better a 6.67. A lot of downtime to start this ride. As Dusty just lets go of his first turn. Not a lot of major points in it, but this wall is steepening up and he lets go of a nice slice off the top. Dusty's just been really pacing himself through the inside. Not sure if he's going to better that 6.67 with a minute and a half remaining. Can give you some long lulls. Well, Kerr is taken off. 7.17 the requirement. A good first section to work with, a clean face. Pretty flat carve to get started. The wave steepens up. Second move is decent. He's going to need a huge finish here to convert this number. Nice snap. Was there enough in it? 30 seconds to go. Needs to match Dusty Payne's first wave. Dusty had a lot more manoeuvres, but Josh probably had a better finish on his wave. Okay, so as we expected, Ron, 5.17, no improvement for D. Payne. Clean style, but just no, like, without a doubt, whammo type of move on that wave to get you to that big score. No big turn on the outside that kind of make you go, whoa, he's on his way. Right. But the finish was definitely probably the strongest finish that we saw in the whole heat. And that's kind of the most critical section of the waves at the moment. Right. I liked it. You know, it was really clean, kind of slicing. But again, if you're going to leave like just no doubt in a judge's mind, you better bring some heat. And it was just kind of missing that real punch in that wave. But to be honest, Dusty's 7.17 was kind of the same. You know, there was no real knockout blow in this heat. So it's, you know, it's not out of the equation that he'll get the score. So here's where the scale is already set. This is the 6.67. They, you know, almost have identical scores. That's what he needs to match Dusty is a 7.17. They both share that 6.67. So touch and go for the judges. I mean, how do you make that call? Well, just looking back on the 6.67, I think that first ride might have been a little stronger. But we'll see. That turn was pretty decent. The wave flattened out for a moment though. He kept busy.
I like that little turn. That was cool.
That might have been the turn of the heat. Completed turn of the heat. And Josh Kerr falling short of 6.27 when he was after a 7.17. He's going to be knocked out by the injury replacement, Dusty Payne. He's charging on through to round 3. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Geordie Smith and Adam Melling hit the lineup. Joe Tapel and Martin Potter will step in for the call.